Hi sweet creams, and welcome back to another pickled goat farm video. I hope you guys are excited because today I'm going to be going over the recent 2026 West Virginia Wasteland Jamboree, which was the first of its kind to be added into the primary lineup of Fallout events in the United States. I am going to be going over a lot of different details about the event, things that I thought went really well, things I thought could have been a little bit better. So I did have a VIP pass for this event, and that is going to come into the conversation a little bit later, but I want to give you guys a quick overview about the event itself. So this was the first variation of this event happening on the East Coast, and previously there has been an event that's been taking place in Good Springs, Nevada for quite some time at this point, where Fallout fans have been able to gather as more of a fan-led event versus it being an official Bethesda event. And some of the same organizers that have been putting on the Good Springs event, from Fallout for Hope, Buttered Popcorn, the Pioneer Saloon, and there were a lot of others as well that decided this year they wanted to expand and try to bring one over to the East Coast. So this event took place on May 2nd and May 3rd of 2026. So I got into West Virginia on the 29th. The main reason why I wanted to get in a little bit earlier is because I knew the second that the event was going to be happening, I was not going to be able to step away. So I wanted to make sure that I had a chance to experience some of the actual exciting locations around the area before the event even started. So a lot of my trip in those first 2 days consisted of me traveling around Sutton, Flatwoods, getting organized in the sense of where everything was going to take place, but we also took some time as well to go to Point Pleasant and check out some of the local museums that are in the area, from the Flatwoods Monster Museum, the Mothman Museum, the Bigfoot Museum that's in Sutton. And I will say that those first 2 days were really awesome to actually spend time with the locals in this community. Everyone received the Fallout people exceptionally well, and it kind of was interesting to go to a local bar or a local restaurant, and the first thing that I heard was, "Are you one of those Fallout people?" And it was such a great opportunity to talk with the locals and carry on these exciting conversations about why we like Fallout, why we got into Fallout, and honestly what the area that many of us have seen through a screen mattered to us, and why we would even want to travel in the first place to the area that takes place in some of these video games. So let's use this time now to segue into how we got to the event. How was the traveling? How was the shuttles? I attended Good Springs last year, and I will say the shuttle situation was extremely stressful, because not only did I have to drive from the strip in Vegas down to Prim to then get on a shuttle to then go back up to Good Springs. So that was something I was extremely fearful going into this event for, because I knew that we couldn't park at the actual hotel. I will say, however, they did do an exceptional job with the shuttles at this event. I was very pleased to see that they didn't just have one location, they did have 2 locations that ticket holders could travel to then get on a shuttle to come up to the primary area. I thought that was an excellent idea. It definitely spread out where people were trying to come from. They were able to get the shuttles set up in locations that you were not on a shuttle for longer than 20 minutes. So let's talk about the venue. The Days Inn was the primary place where all panels, celebrity signings, as well as the gala and a few other things took place. And then through the parking lot and down into the KOA campground was the vendor village, food, music, immersion zone, were all located relatively close in a singular area. Now, if you did not stay at the Days Inn, you had to shuttle in. You were not allowed to come in and park. I do believe people were able to come in to drop people off, but you were not able to stay. You had to come in via shuttle. I loved this venue, genuinely. I love the fact that we could go down the hill into this big KOA campground, and it was kind of just an area for Fallout people to just roam, and I loved that. It was very sad that we couldn't get everything, at least in Flatwoods. I'm coming at this as a creator. It was very hard for me to take the time to leave to go get back on a shuttle, to go get back to my car, to then drive over to Sutton to attend some of the other really exciting things that were happening, including the film festival. But I am still so pleased with how this venue was overall, and I really hope that they try to use the same one again in the future. Let's take a moment to just talk about everyone that was kind of roaming around the event. I had so much fun meeting people, and it seemed like people were having such a exciting and good time. People were traveling around the vendor villages and having food, and we're sitting up on the hillsides and chit-chatting with each other, and the immersion zone was exciting with the Brotherhood, the NCR, the Enclave, and everyone else that was down there. It was exciting, it was thrilling, it was fun. There was music playing all of the time. I think the demeanor and the energy of this event was perfect. Sadness is the fact that it was only 2 days, which I think is a pretty common thing at this point, listening to some other people's reviews that are already out, was that people just really wish it was a 3-day event. And I do too, because I was quite busy the entire time, and there were a lot of people I didn't even get to chit chat with, which I would have loved the opportunity to do so. So let's talk about the variations of ticketing, and let's talk about how that all kind of came to play. I was quite nervous leading up to this event because my VIP pass barely got here in time. And then I was told that I was still waiting for a wristband that was supposed to come in the mail as well. My wristband never did. And so when I arrived at the convention the very first time, explained my situation and that I had a VIP pass, but I did not get a wristband, they directed me where I needed to go. That was a pretty decent experience. It's anytime registration at a convention, you have to go through, it's always a little awkward. I am going to jump around just a little bit in explaining this VIP experience. I felt as a VIP ticket holder, someone who spent $250 on a VIP ticket, I was expecting just a little bit more care to be given to me. I received my t-shirt, and I know they talked about the lanyard. Lanyards are typically standard for a majority of conventions that you go to. I do feel like the highlighted or the elevation of the lanyard is a little exaggerated and maybe should be reassessed. Lanyards would be great as a general admissions item compared to wristbands, because if I don't have long sleeves for my cosplay and I have a wristband on, it just kind of, if I'm taking photos, which I'm going to be doing because I'm at a convention, it's frustrating for me because now I have to Photoshop that wristband out, which is a minor detail in the long run. Also, it was extremely confusing as to what was really VIP and what wasn't. I really wish as a VIP ticket holder I would have received an email or information of exactly what was going to be offered to me. Now this was definitely presented on social media, but what I didn't realize until after the event is that the gala was supposed to have a VIP entrance or a way for VIPs to get in. It was a little disappointing finding that out afterwards, that I could have potentially gotten sooner. Have a VIP pass, like that's the type of stuff that I would have liked to take advantage of. And I went to the VIP lounge area. Anybody could get in there because I had and saw people that I knew that did not have VIP passes just walk right in there. What is the point of buying a VIP pass if there's nothing really unique about it in the first place? And just paying that extra money just doesn't seem like a realistic thing to do. I think it would be an excellent idea to reassess what these different ticket options are and really create a good transparency in the information of what each ticket genuinely involves and includes. And I do think it would be really cool if they were to add a application that's easily accessible for people to at least apply for media as well as creator passes. Overall, I think it turned out okay in terms of ticketing. I think for the most part, it only affected a really small group of people that were trying to do something with their tickets specifically, but it's something that as these events grow, which I know they will, I think this is an area of a pain point that they should definitely reassess and give some time and attention to. So let's go over the gala as it kind of naturally progressed. So we already know that I was standing outside waiting to get into the gala. I will say, for the most part, once they got people moving, it was really efficient to get people inside. So once we got inside, there was a wonderful, wonderful spread of food that was available, and then on the other side was the bar. The only problem with this first hour was the fact that so many people were excited to go to the gala and were trying to get inside that it ultimately clustered up like crazy in the lobby. Now, where else were they going to put everybody? There was no place to put that many people and to keep them out of the primary room that they were still preparing for the gala. So there's not really anything else they could have done. Ultimately, I was still able to get inside, I was still able to get food, and I was still able to find a space that was relatively chill to kind of hide in, waiting for the gala doors to open. Once they opened up the doors, you were able to get inside. It was so beautifully decorated. There were so many cool things in there. Not only were the centerpieces these really cool flatwood monster ceramics, caps on the table, beautiful blue and yellow runners. Everything looked beautiful. I will say it was hard to find a table. It was hard to find space. And I kind of wish that VIP ticket holders would have had a VIP table, because, and maybe there was, and I just didn't know, but it was hard for me to find a spot to sit. When I've gone to galas and events like this in the past, usually what happens is everyone gets in, they kind of let everyone sit down, and then there's someone that announces, okay, everybody, this table, table number 5, please go get food, or table number 5, you're going to be served now. There was nothing like that, so everyone was kind of just sitting down, looking around, kind of like seeing like what was going on. And then it wasn't until someone came up to the table and was like, oh yeah, you just walk up there. So segueing into the food, there was a lot of options. There was prime rib, there was chicken, there was vegetables, there was salad, there was desserts, there was pasta. There were a lot of options of food. The Satin Dolls did a wonderful performance. They did so good in bringing music into the hall. But then after that, I genuinely was expecting somebody to come up to the mic and be like, okay, we are about to start our program. Everybody, please quiet down. And so we could actually see what was going on, the program that was going to be taking place. And that never happened. I had no idea what was going on the rest of the evening. It was so loud in there that I didn't even know that anything was going on at the main stage. And that continued to progress through the rest of the evening. The silent auction as well, I had no idea that it was going to be on the main stage, and I had no idea that it was going on, and I was so disappointed because as a person who really is behind the Fallout for Hope goal, I wanted to participate in as much stuff at the gala as possible. I wanted to support, and I wanted to at least, watch all of the cool stuff that was going on. And it just felt like I couldn't because I didn't hear what was going on at any given point. So I thought that the gala was an excellent idea. I just feel that there were some executions in the event that could have been stronger. I really want to attend one again in the future because I love events like that. Those are the events that I get really excited for. I love to dress up and go to stuff like that. So I really hope that they continue and they do another one of these again in the future. I want to talk about the breakdown in the different Fallout games and kind of what was presented at this event. For those of you that have gone to Good Springs before, the immersion and the fun that Fallout fans bring to that is very New Vegas coded, and I think that is awesome. When we look at this West Virginia event, one thing I noticed is that there was not a lot of 76. Now, I'm not saying that the Wasteland Jamboree should be a event that only focuses on 76. However, I was expecting there to be more of a promotion for 76 to see more people attempting to bring 76 culture into the event. Now, as a person who streams a lot of 76, I'm on the 76 bandwagon. I think it is a wonderful addition into the Fallout franchise. I was a little sad. I was a little disappointed. I wanted to see more Foshnot masks. I wanted to see more party hats. I wanted to see more responders, Mothman cultists, Blue Ridge caravanners. I really hope in the future this event doesn't just copy paste what is going on in Good Springs. I really hope that it creates space and room for other aspects of the Fallout community. Overall, you guys, I loved this event so much, and I'm so happy that Buttered Popcorn, the Pioneer Saloon, Fallout for Hope, and everyone else involved, I'm so happy that they took this risk, because it is a risk, ultimately, to make this happen, to invest money in this, to plan all of the logistics, to work with all of the vendors, to work with the local community, and kind of put your neck out to try to create something new. And I'm really, really, really happy that they went for it. I'm really happy that they did this, and I know that this event is going to continue to grow and be excellent in the future. It's only going to get better. So I really loved this event so much. I'm really sad that it's not going to be back here next year, where you have to wait until 2028 for the next one, because they are doing a break year, because the Power Armor Festival is going to be happening in West Virginia about the same time in 2027. So I'm really sad that this event is not coming back next year, because I really enjoyed myself, and I absolutely will be going back to every single one that I possibly can attend in the future. So if you guys ever are wondering if you should attend one of these events, I highly encourage that you guys try to, whether it's the one in Vegas or if it's the one that's in West Virginia. These are excellent events. They put a lot of work into putting this stuff on, and nothing is ever perfect. As a person who works in event planning, I understand that there's a lot of logistics that goes into these things, and so these guys are working so hard to put all of this stuff on for Fallout fans to enjoy. But you guys, thank you so much for listening to me yap about this event for gosh knows how long. I am really excited to see you guys in Good Springs in November. I hope you guys do all of the good things and take care of yourselves. And of course, until next time, everyone, stay goated. Bye!